Hi everybody, my name's Rebecca and welcome back to My Bookish Travels. Today I am going to be recommending 5 manga that I have read and loved over the years that I feel like just doesn't get as much recognition, and hopefully I may find some people that have read these manga that I'm going to talk about. Perhaps I will be recommending some that you have never heard of and can now go and read. And for those of you that are thinking of dipping your toes in the manga genre, hopefully I can recommend some that are not going to make you go broke trying to read the full series. So I have one book that is a one-shot and the other 4 are duologies, and because I know that you can research the synopsis of each of these mangas online through Goodreads or other formats, I'm not going to really be talking about the actual synopsis of what the book is about. I'm going to just recommend it for my own thoughts on it, because there's a lot of books that I love and I find that I spend maybe too much time going over the synopsis and not as much on my feelings. So today when I'm talking about these books, I'd rather be talking about my feelings and things they remind me of or things that I really liked about them than focusing more on the actual synopsis of the story. The first book that I'm going to be discussing is the one-shot. It is called Wanted by Matsuri Hino. If you guys have not read this, the best way to describe it is, if The Princess Bride and Cutthroat Island had a baby, this would be the baby. I love this story. I love the alternate history feel to it. I love that there's pirates and ships involved. If you guys are fans of pirates like I am, then this is definitely something to read. What's nice is it's only the 1 volume. It's a quick read. It's one that even now, just having the book in my hands makes me want to go and read it again. I just love this manga. It does everything that I want it to when it comes to a story, and I'm actually thinking I may go back and reread it after I finish filming this video because I love it so much. I'm pretty positive that this was the first manga that I ever paid for to purchase and not just borrow from my library. So very, very dear part of my heart. The next manga that I'm going to recommend is Flower in a Storm by Shigeyoshi Takagi. I absolutely love the light and dark that comes about in this duology. It's about a girl and a gangster, and it's just hilariously funny. Again, though, there is that dark, gritty realism to it, and I think the author really plays off the dark and light very well in this story. It, again, is another one that's very dear to my heart. I absolutely love the story. There were times where I was laughing, there were times that I gasped out loud with this story, and again, it's just another one that when I think about it, it makes me want to go back and read it again, because I really enjoy the books that I'm discussing today. They're ones that I have gone back and read more than once for some of them, and they're ones that definitely warm my heart. When I think about manga or when I get into a reading slump, these are definitely ones that I can pick up, quickly work through, and just get the full story and enjoy it. It's as comforting as having a cup of hot cocoa and sitting in front of the television and watching a favorite film of mine. This is what this book series reminds me of. The next one is still manga, but it's actually a little bit different than the rest of the books being more as a shoujo manga. I have Big Hero 6 by Haruki Uno. This one is a Disney manga, which I didn't know that they were doing when I first saw these. I was like, what? I must buy these. And I'm so glad that I did. I love Big Hero 6. It definitely holds a very dear part of my heart. The first time I ever watched that film, and I can't speak enough about how much I love that film. But this is the manga version of This is the manga version of Big Hero 6, and it does deviate slightly from the film, but what I really love about it is I'm getting to be immersed in a Disney story that I'm familiar with. I get to be immersed in the manga art that I love, and I just get to follow the story through a new mode, and I can't. It just warms my heart, and I love the art style, and all I have to state to you guys is these covers. But if you guys are kind of on the fence on, I don't really want to get into manga, or I don't know what I like, go with a Disney one. You're already familiar with the story. If you've loved the story, you're gonna probably fall in love with the manga as well. And it was so well done. I love it. I love it. The next one that I'm going to be discussing is SP Baby by Maki and Joji. This one gives me a lot of there were two films that came out a while ago, quite a while ago, regarding like the president's daughter and one of the Secret Service men. This gives the same vibes because the male lead is actually related through his uncle, I think, to like a political standing, and he ends up stumbling across a girl who he then gets to become his bodyguard. And there are certain things that come about in the story that are just so good. I would love to see an Asian drama with this as the basis. I think it would be fantastic. This book made me laugh so many times that like I actually had, I think, abdominal pain. I might have even pulled a stomach muscle because I was laughing so many times in this story. It's just so enjoyable. It definitely took me out of, whatever was going on around me, and it just took me to a new place. And I did actually end up reading these back to back because they were just so cute. And I just really love them as a couple, and getting to kind of see the complete story in 2 volumes. There wasn't a ton of drama that fell into the story. It was just light, fun, and it just, even now, makes me smile. The last series I'm going to be discussing is I Am Here by Emma Toyama. These are compendium editions of volume 1 and 2, so I think that they actually were 4 volumes originally, but when they were printed in English, they were printed in this format only. These are so beautiful, guys. This was the first middle grade manga that I ever read, and this is just so beautiful. And I'm not going to go into the synopsis, as I said, but just to explain a bit, it's about a girl who doesn't feel like she's seen or heard in her class, but she has a blog, and it's about a sunflower that she's growing, and it kind of gives her the opportunity to use her voice in a way that is comfortable for her. And I just connected so much with this story. It's so beautiful. It's so heartwarming. If you guys have ever had a moment where you kind of haven't been as self-assured, or you've just been shy, or you just haven't felt comfortable with something, I feel like you're going to connect with this story on so many levels. I know that I did, and again, this is the first middle grade manga that I read, and I definitely think that you'll probably see me reading more of it at some point in the future, because although there is a bit of romance to it, that's not the main focus. It truly is about this girl finding her voice, and I love it. I love it. I love seeing the character growth in it, and I just love seeing, going from being one person to feeling like she's part of, an entire group, and it's just so lovely. The art style is beautiful, and the actual story itself is so heartwarming. I would love to see this as an anime. I think it would do so well as an anime, and I kind of hope that it gets made, because I feel like so many people need to know about this, but probably aren't aware of this as a story. It's so good. I love it. So this is kind of the last one I wanted to talk about. So those are my recommendations. Again, if you guys have heard of these and you've read them, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you guys have not heard of these and you now have new books to read, fantastic. And if you are looking to dip your toes into manga, please give one of these a try. I'm sure that one of these will probably connect with you personally or as a reader. So I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about them, and I will talk to you in my next video. Until then, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next time.